today I'm doing another pinch of num recipe. This time I'm going to be doing a sweet. So I've got a Christmas party tomorrow and everyone always loves it when I make stuff, so hopefully this will go down well. So I've done something similar, but this one should be even better. We're going to be making Millionaire's cheesecake. So I've done Millionaire shortbread, but this starts off with the same, but then it's got a cheesecake layer on top. So fingers crossed this turns out well. So let's have a look and see what we do. Okay, so we have an 18 by 18 square cake tin. This should be loose bottom, but I've only got solid ones, so hopefully it still works out well. So the first thing we need to do is to grease this with some low fat spread. And then we need to line it with some grease-proof paper. Now I've found the easiest way to do this, whatever shape tin you've got, take your paper, cut it to the size you want, and screw it up. Screw it up, straighten it back out, and then it should fit into anything. There you go. So I'm going to put this to the side, and then we are going to make the shortbread base. So we are going to need 100 grams of unsalted butter, which is slightly softened. And we've got 25 grams of caster sugar and 25 grams of granulated sweetener. Now mine doesn't weigh the same as sugar, so that will only work if it weighs the same. So I measured that one out and then put in about the same into a bowl. So hopefully that should work. If you're not sure, I would just say use all sugar. Yes, it's more calories, but then you'll get the right amount. And then with an electric whisk or a wooden spoon, I'm using my Bamex, you want to cream these together. And once that is done, we are going to sift in 150 grams of plain flour. And then with a wooden spoon we are going to mix this into the creamy mixture. Okay, once that's all mixed in, we are then going to go in with our hands and we're going to squeeze it together into a ball of dough. Then we're going to bring back the tin and we're going to put this in the middle and we're going to push it out to the sides into a thin, even layer. Okay, once that's done, we're going to take a fork and we're going to prick this all over. And then this is going to go in the oven at 160 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes until lightly golden. So once that's done, it started to go brown, so I'm going to leave this. We need to let it completely cool until we move on to the next stage. Okay, so the shortbread has cooled down, so next up we need the toffee layer. So for this we're going to use Werther's Original sugar-free creamy toffees, and we need 160 grams. So I'm going to unwrap all of these and get them into a saucepan. Okay, so we've got the toffees in a saucepan and we're going to put this over a low heat, and I'm going to keep stirring it until they start to melt, then I'm going to take it off the heat. Okay, so these toffees are starting to melt, so I'm going to take it off the heat. And we're just going to keep stirring them until they are completely melted. Okay, so eventually you should have something that looks like this. And then we are going to add 2 teaspoons of light double cream. And then we're going to stir that in as well. Okay, as soon as that's done, you want to work really quickly. You want to get your base, pour this on. And then you want to spread this out with the back of the spoon right to the edges. Right, okay, now we are going to let this cool completely. The toffee will go hard, but it will soften up again once we put the cheesecake on. So, yeah, let that cool and we'll do the cheesecake topping. Okay, on to the cheesecake topping then. So, first thing we do, in a bowl we've got 300 grams of fat-free thick Greek yogurt. And to that we're going to add 180 grams of reduced fat cream cheese. And 4 tablespoons of granulated sweetener. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And 3 tablespoons of caramel flavouring. And then we're going to mix this all together until it becomes smooth. Right, okay, that's as smooth as I'm going to get it. There's still a couple of little lumps of cream cheese, but there we go. Next we are going to add 10 grams of chocolate chips which have been crushed. And then 40 grams of the sugar-free creamy toffee sweets that we had, which was 6, and I've chopped them into little pieces. So we're going to put them in. And then we're going to give this another stir, get them evenly distributed. Okay, now next up is for the gelatine. So in this recipe they have used the sheets of gelatin, the sheet leaves, but they're not vegetarian and I don't think they do a vegetarian version. So the only one that we've got is the powder. So they say to use 2 sheets, I'm going to use a whole pack. If you're using the sheets, you want to put the sheets into a small flat dish, add about 100 ml of cold water to cover the gelatine. Push down to submerge to make sure the sheets are not sticking together, and leave for 5 minutes until it is like jelly. And then remove the gelatine and squeeze out the excess water. Place it into a cup and pour 2 tablespoons of hot water, not boiling, and stir until it's dissolved. So I am going to put this whole pack in, and then I'm going to add the 2 tablespoons of hot water. I might do 3 tablespoons of hot water, and then give it a stir until it's completely smooth. Okay, so that's most of the lumps gone. So if you add a couple of tablespoons of the cheesecake mix in, and then mix that in again until it's completely mixed in. This will just help it to spread evenly. Okay, and then this goes back into the big bowl. And then stir that in as well. Okay, once that's definitely mixed in, gonna bring back our base and we're gonna pour this in. So you want to do this straight away, you don't want to wait, otherwise that gelatine will start setting. Okay, and that's all you can do for it. So I'm going to stick this in the fridge. It should be in there for at least 4 to 5 hours. I'm going to leave it overnight because we're going to be having this tomorrow, so it's best if you do it overnight. So yeah, so let's have a look tomorrow and see if this is actually set. So that's the risk with the gelatine. So fingers crossed it sets and it all works perfectly. So see you tomorrow. Okay, so we've had a slight problem. The cheesecake didn't set properly, so I think you need 2 packs of the vege-gel if you're not using the leaves. But anyway, what I did was I stuck it in the freezer, so I have no idea whether this is still going to work, but it has set now that it's been in the freezer. I don't know if the toffee will be too hard. But let's give it a go and see what happens. So here it is. Normally what you would do at this stage is take it out of the tin. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep it in there until people are ready to eat it, and then we'll cut it up and see what happens. So what you want to do is to get some chocolate sauce. They use Choc Shop, but I couldn't get any of that, so I've got this. And we're just gonna use about 3 teaspoons, and we're just gonna There we go. And then what you want to do is cut this into 16 pieces. So like I said, I'm not taking it out, so I'm not going to cut it. I'm just going to cut a little bit out now so we can give it a try. There we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, that toffee is not as hard as what I thought it was, but it's really cold. It tastes really good. So I think what I'll do for the party is get it out about half an hour before, and we'll just cut bits off and see what happens. Maybe need a spoon to eat it, but the flavours are definitely there. But yeah, I think it was just the gelatine, just needed a bit more of it. So yeah, definitely a good one. Well, that's it from me. Merry Christmas. Keep experimenting, have fun, and I'll see you next time. Bye.